Mr. Dang is the founder and CEO of Yagnum, a new age management consulting firm on a mission to democratize consulting and training services for startups, SMEs, fintechs, and educational institutions as India rises to become a developed nation and an innovation economy. Prior to this, his last corporate stint was with Accenture as Managing Director, Strategy and Consulting. He is also an angel investor and advisor to young startups. He brings more than 21 years of advisory and coaching experience at banks, fintechs, corporate startups, and SMEs in India and across the globe. He brings expertise in the area of digital transformation, performance improvement advisory, innovation advisory, design thinking, data AI-led consulting, process excellence, and much more. He's also an investor and advisor in a tech SaaS startup providing AI-powered enterprise performance management solutions for industrial SMEs in India. Sir, we are all eager to listen to you. A very heartiest welcome once again to Mr. Nikunj Dang. A big round of applause for him.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, very warm regards to Dr. Sanjeev, Dr. Anita, and the entire Amity team for this kind invitation and an opportunity for me to address this young, energetic crowd at Amity Business School. And my regards to the esteemed faculty as well as my respected dignitaries and guests of honor with whom I'm sharing the stage today. I understand it's been a long session for all of you. You know, as my previous speaker actually talked about, it feels like, you know, I'm back in the college as well. And it feels like that second last or last period in the school when everyone's really waiting for the bell to ring and run out. So I can imagine that emotion, and therefore to bring back some energy and to bring back some attention, can I test some Josh? How's the Josh, guys? Louder? How's the Josh? Fantastic. All right. Now that we warmed up, I think the topic of the day is about technology and AI. I think our distinguished speakers have spoken about this topic in quite a lot of detail. I'll try to put a strategic and consulting wrapper around it because that's my background. And also, you know, lately I've been going to a lot of educational institutions and corporates and discussing about the potential of AI. There's one constant question that people actually ask me, right? What are the timelines for artificial general intelligence? And what are the timelines for artificial superintelligence, right? Artificial general intelligence, as you would all know, is something where we'll be able to replicate the cognitive and reasoning capabilities of a human being and sort of code them, by identifying patterns in a machine, right? Now, interestingly, a lot of AI researchers, I think close to 350 of them, were asked back in 2017, when would AGI be a reality? And guess, what was the answer of the AI researchers and experts? Can anybody guess? 2060 or so, right? And artificial superintelligence, which is when the machines get better than human beings on multiple parameters, including potentially human consciousness, right? The timelines were around 2090, right? Now, this view is very, very different from what the AI entrepreneurs say, right? The likes of Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and others talk about timelines which are around 2030. Now, there is a difference between the two. I don't have the vantage point of Elon Musk for sure, but I do believe that there are certain use cases in AI which will become a reality much sooner than 2060, right? Maybe autonomous driving. Sir spoke about our ability to communicate in different languages, etc. A lot of use cases will come to life leveraging AI, but there is a long way to go before AI equals human level intelligence, right? Because human level intelligence is not just about observing someone and discovering patterns, but it's also about replicating the emotional intelligence, the subconscious, spiritual intelligence, and of course, the intellectual intelligence and the physical intelligence the systems can code through observation. I think the ma'am also, ma'am, when she was talking about the AI strategy going forward, I think she very beautifully put a roadmap around, how some enablers have come together in terms of ensuring that AI really scales up. In the consulting world, we typically use a statement saying that there is no data strategy without cloud strategy. And then there is no AI strategy without data strategy, right? And when it comes to infrastructure readiness today, we have cloud, scalable, resilient, and we have loads of data, which is sort of making us ready to embrace this AI age. One unique example that I'll actually give, and I think it's sort of come out in the conversation and examples that my previous speakers have talked about, is AI does not necessarily just work on data. AI can actually help you create data, right? So in one of my clients have been working on industrial SMEs use cases, we've actually figured out a way where data was not being captured by a manufacturing facility in terms of supervisors and workers actually capturing data either in registers or slips. And then that data capture was practically ineffective. Somebody was doing that data entry in a machine in an Excel every day. And then that data had to be validated. And by the time that validated data reached an ERP for an industrial SME, right, the owner actually had no trust on the data, right? So effectively what AI is doing today is it is actually revolutionizing not just making sense out of data through AI, but also capturing and validating data, right? So with the use of voice, image, text, and sort of conversion of that into any form between these three, and four formats, you can actually not just make sense out of data using AI, you can actually create data where it doesn't exist. So I think that's one nuance that I wanted to call out. The other bit, which I've been observing, there have been studies from McKinsey, Accenture, and BCG, and you would have been reading. There are conversations around the adoption of AI. I think only large corporates are investing in heavy use cases in AI, and typically the Fortune 2000 companies, and they're looking at solving for revenue optimization and cost saving using generative AI use cases and descriptive, predictive, prescriptive AI as well. And then when you look at Fortune 2000 down, you have a lot of companies actually embracing corporate SaaS tools, right? AI tools, which are really adding productivity and efficiency to different job roles, right? And effectively what the corporates, the Fortune 2000s are also doing is nothing but, to a great extent, if I keep the revenue maximizing use cases aside, it's about productivity improvement, right, using AI. And therefore, there is one very important message, I want to leave you with. A lot of people ask me, how is AI going to disrupt me as a B school student, right? AI is actually going to change the lives of everyone, right? And again, I would like to quote that, AI will not replace humans, but AI enabled humans will replace those who do not embrace AI. So what each one of you can do is to become an AI-powered version of yourself, right? So if you're taking up finance, you must know what is the AI-powered finance manager of the future. If you're taking up marketing, you should potentially know who is and what is an AI-powered digital marketer of the future. What are the AI functionalities potentially in Salesforce? If you are a teacher, I mean, in fact, I came to know from one of my, professors, he's actually writing a book called AI-powered lazy finance professor, right? So everyone's going to be AI-powered in the future. I believe as an entrepreneur, I strive and learn every day to become AI-powered. And that's one direction we should go in. There is one more, piece that I wanted to talk about. I think, we all have had long careers. I think people sitting on this side of the stage and people here in the first two rows, definitely, that I can vouch for. We've all had, I'm sure, 15, 20 plus years of experience. One thing that I want to, really ensure that I communicate is that, in my own 21-year-old career, I've felt that, I've had to skill and reskill at least 6 times in my life. And I'm not talking about small things. I'm talking about strategic shifts and step ups that I've had to do since 2003 to 2024 now, right? So AI is very disruptive, and I feel for this generation because you're actually competing with the machines going forward. But trust me, there has been an intervention or disruption coming every 3-4 years in our lives, and the next 20 years are going to be no different. So embrace it with all positivity. It's going to solve use cases and problems that the faculty talked about here, as well as our esteemed dignitaries on the stage. And this will only make things better for the world and take us forward. The other thing which I wanted to talk about the last few minutes, I wanted to spend on some philosophy and some stories. I promise I won't take more time, but I think it'll help land the message. One thing which I'm seeing through AI and even the basic tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity.ai, I think knowledge is going to be available. Information is going to be available. You have generations sitting here who would create a PowerPoint deck sitting in the library, looking into pages of multiple books, doing research, primary and secondary, and going and creating a PowerPoint deck. You have my generation who's standing here who had the privilege of internet and databases and publications to create the same PowerPoint deck. Easier life, different challenge. Your generation is going to have access to information and databases in a more effective and efficient way, but your challenges will be different. But trust me, every generation has had a step up in their productivity and efficiency, and this will be no different. But though knowledge is available, how you apply that knowledge is going to differentiate the stars from the laggards. Okay? And I believe the technique and the method to solve something will actually define how things move forward. And I'll just tell you a small story. 22 years back, and why this method and technique concept struck with me. I was in a jungle survival program back in my B school days, and our college, just after our internships, had sent us to Bannerghatta Forest in Bangalore, and we were supposed to do this hard version of a jungle survival program. Corporate employees will come and do a low version or a medium version. We were sent to a harder version. And just off our internships, on the second day of our jungle survival program, we all 25 of us we were lined up at the bottom of the mountain, and we were asked to, climb up pretty much without any gear at all, right? And this was, I think, 60, 65 degrees sort of an incline on the mountain. And of the 25 of us, there were some people who had actually done the mountaineering, right? So they were aware, they were confident that they'll be able to do it as well again. There were some who were much more physically fit, and they thought, yes, we'll be able to do it. And then there were the others, the complaining types, right? Who were, I came here to do my MBA. What the hell am I doing in this forest trying to climb a mountain? And there were all sort of rants going around. But I still remember the vivid voice of our trainer, that army veteran. He said, guys, just listen to me for the next 2 to 3 minutes. If you listen to me properly, you will be able to climb this mountain without injuring yourself. And there was I was thinking, all right, this person has probably climbed this mountain 1,000,000 times more than me. I should listen to him, right? And he said, there are 4 techniques, 4 methods to climb this mountain. 1, be on your toes. Number 2, check your gear, right? Which is nothing but our shoes, nothing else we had. He was just ensuring that we are dusting it up, right? Number 3, don't look down. Number 4, don't bend your back too much. And number 5 was a philosophical comment, don't compare yourself amongst the others who are on the left and right hand side of you. Trust me, I've been looking like this for the last 20 years. I have not been the fittest myself, but I listened to him and I actually went about climbing the mountain. I could see people overtaking me. I could see people falling behind. I could see people who did not even start, who were still ranting, right? That there's no point climbing this mountain. And, to my own surprise, I reached the top of the mountain. We were 25 of us. I was there at the top of the mountain in not much time. But guess what was my rank? I was not the first one. I think you're being very kind to me. I was number 5. I was amongst the top 20%. And trust me, I was not the fittest. And the army veteran actually came up and he asked me, Nikunj, I was not expecting you to be amongst the top 5. What did you do right? So I said, I just listened to you and I followed the technique, the method to climb, right? So I think there is a technique and method to do everything. We are not solving for rocket science. One of my bosses in Accenture used to always say that. We are B school grads. We are not creating rockets, right? There is no rocket science in business. You should just know the method and technique to solve something. If you don't know it, the information is available in the world. Go out and figure it out. If you're curious, you'll be able to solve that problem. So I think I would leave you with that. And just one last story. I happened to listen to Federer yesterday on YouTube before I was coming to address this crowd. I think it's been an old speech that Federer gave at Dartmouth University. In case you've not seen it, you must. There is one very interesting thing that he leaves us all with. And people often ask me in my 21-year-old career, what is it that I must, what is it that I've learned has been important and critical to my success. So I think one bit that I spoke to you about, which is methods and techniques to solve problems and never sort of look behind and look back. And number 2 is that you will have failures in life. You will have moments of success and you will have milestones that you will achieve. Don't really take your setbacks seriously. They are just milestones and moments of learning that will take you forward. And just a very, very interesting stat for all the youngsters here. Do you know how many matches did Federer play? 1,500. Do you know how many matches did he win? Any guess on percentage? He won 82% of the 1,500 matches that he played. You know how many points he won in those 82% matches. Not 82, in fact, the whole 100% of the matches he played. He actually lost 46% of his points. Lost 46% of his points, won 82% of his matches, and he is the world champion. So the best in the world also fail and make mistakes. You will as well. Don't feel bogged down and keep moving forward. That's the last message that I'll leave you with. And I wish you all to become the Federers of your world of technology and business. Thank you again for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Very rightly said. Innovations and disruptions both are a way of life in today's time. And what's important for our students is whichever sector you go in, be AI empowered. Thank you so much, sir.